My boy said, walking along, singing a song, walking in the Rocky Wonderland. Hey, hey, there's only one Rocky Edwards. There's only one. Justin, the highlight Gaethje, pulled up to London. That shit is insane.
Porn star measurements, plug here, let him in, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We in this bitch talking the recap of UFC 286, Edwards versus Usman 3, where that boy Leon Edwards stood his tall. But as always, before we hop into it, go down, like, and subscribe. Drop a comment what you thought on the card. And these are your hosts. I'm Paul, Pick 'em, win 'em, Concha, and I'm joined with.
Hey, man, you already know it's that boy Kev. Water Voice Boy, a.k.a. the Don P.Y.E., a.k.a. the realest motherfucker on your screen. But you didn't know I'm low-key a singer because I got a song for you. I heard on my dog, Ariel Hawani. Notice how I said my dog, Ariel Hawani, showed it the other day. My boy said, walking along, singing a song, walking in the Rocky Wonderland. Hey, hey, there's only one Rocky Edwards. There's only one Rocky Edwards. There's only one Rocky Edwards. Hey, Paul, man, I'm not going to lie to you. This was not the best card of the year. But this was a very, 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 very competitive card. I feel like every fight either had something crazy happen, some cool shit went down, somebody was really, really complex, or it was just a stand and bang fight and it was competitive. There wasn't really a lot of wrestling, I feel like, this week. But UFC 286, we went to London. Before we get into the card, how do you feel about the crowd, Khalid?
I heard the crowd wasn't all. London hasn't lived up to the first card in like many ways, not just the fights, but also the electricity, the crowd, and they even came out Bisping for his coverage on the fight. Like they even said the announcers were ass. It was like,
that's fucked up because I'm pretty sure Bisping got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
He probably did.
And it was fucked up. I don't know if he got inducted to the Hall of Fame. I wasn't deep into the card because this swear the shit happened during the prelims, like the beginning of the prelims too. Like
I know Spider got inducted. Anderson.
Oh, we could talk about that before we even get into the card. They had some good Hall of Famers now. Bisping, even though everybody has their opinion on Bisping, I wasn't around for the Bisping days, so I'm gonna look at him like, okay, he was fine. He did his thing, and now he's an announcer. I don't watch his YouTube channel because he'd be wrong. He'd be as wrong as Chael Sonnen. But what's it called? I fuck with Bisping. But then they had Jens Pulver, and everybody on the live stream was screaming, "Yo, nobody deserves this more than Jens Pulver." And I was like, really? I thought he was just a fighter. The only reason why I know about him is because he was one of the Ultimate Fighter coaches when Nate Diaz was there. So Nate Diaz was on Team Pulver, and they wrote fuck Team Pulver on the wall, and that's when we really got to see the Stockton and Nate Diaz for the first time. Because Nate Diaz was like, "Hey man, I'm Team Pulver, man. So if you're saying fuck that, you're saying fuck me too. Who the fuck wrote this? Who the fuck wrote this?" And this nigga like, and then that's when we learned that Nate Diaz don't give a fuck. Nate Diaz was in that bitch like, Nate Diaz came out the shirt, all he has is a rosary on, and he's talking about some, "Hey man, I'll sock a nigga in the mouth. I don't give a fuck." I was like, see, this is the Nate Diaz I know.
And same season, Nate Diaz trying to fight the coach. He tried to find an assistant coach that season before in the back of the in one of the locker room scenes.
Bruh, Nate Diaz, but Jens Pulver, I gotta do more research on him. What's up? Who the fuck is Jens Pulver, Paul?
I don't know too. I know the name. I know he's an OG, but I don't know his resume. I can't.
They said nobody deserved that more than him. So I was like, he was hitter like that. I mean, I thought he was a cool coach.
Relax. Like you went in the same class with Anderson Silva, and you're gonna say nobody deserved him more? Come on now.
But then it was funny because they saw that because Jens Pulver came first, and then I want to say he came in early into the main the main card, and then Anderson Silva comes in, and I swear it was perfect timing because comedian Romeo Mack had just flown in. So the first thing he says is, "Wait a minute. First off, Anderson Silva, hell yeah, you should have been in that motherfucker." And then he started doing his whole thing. So that shit was perfect. I gotta flip that up. But Anderson Silva was a hitter, even though I'm an MMA casual. I didn't watch any MMA at all, but I knew two people. I knew John Jones and I knew Anderson Silva.
GSP?
Eventually, I learned who Conor McGregor was. Nope. I knew John Jones. I knew Anderson Silva. And I know Rampage Jackson because I'd be on YouTube, and that motherfucker was wild. But that wasn't because of MMA. That nigga was wild. I actually watched Brock Lesnar's first fight because it came on like normal TV, I swear. I swear that bitch was like, I was flipping through channels.
Well,
and I was
like Spike TV or Fox.
Bro, I was flipping through channels and I looked up and I was like, is that fucking Brock Lesnar? The fuck? And then he got his ass beat. I was like, the fuck is going on? I didn't even notice that they were fighting in the octagon. Like, that's how like random that was. Like, I was screaming like, yo, is that Brock Lesnar? Is this a real fight? Oh shit. Like, that's I swear. But it was a good card. But Anderson Silva definitely deserved that bitch in. I knew who Anderson Silva was before motherfucking I even knew what UFC exactly was. I knew before I even knew MMA, I called it UFC. I knew Anderson Silva. And I feel like bro was cold. Like I used to watch his highlights before like I even watched this shit for real. I'm watching him just do this shit with his head. And like his instincts are crazy. His
highlight reel pop up somewhere on YouTube or some shit. He's always in like, yeah, he's like that.
Bruh. But this is the interesting thing. He got put into the Pioneer wing. How do you feel about that? Because I don't even know there were wings, but like once they said Pioneer wing, I mean, he is a pioneer, but he's probably like not first ballot pioneer because like I swear he didn't retire. Like he literally had a fight last year in boxing. Like, is he a pioneer still?
Just because he came at a time when there weren't many other greats. So I guess he was pioneer because no one could stop him. I mean, until he broke his leg, and then Chris Weidman got the dub. Chris Weidman was also a dog, but Anderson Silva, like I would give him a pioneer just because he's an OG. Like anyone come from like GSP didn't invent wrestling. He wasn't even a wrestler when he came in, but like I would still give GSP a pioneer badge because he was there and like he was doing MMA before everyone else was because he was mixing that shit in with his everything else.
Hell yeah. So that shit's crazy, man. Definitely deserve that. I'd love to see it. I want to see when the Hall of Fame induction is. Like, is there going to be a big class of Hall of Famers? I be seeing people get inducted to the Hall of Fame, but there's yet to be a Hall of Fame ceremony. I want to know how does that work.
I think there is a ceremony, but we just aren't too. I think they pop up whenever they do the awards and stuff. I'm not sure.
That's fine. But on to this card, man. Paul, my dog Leon, Rocky Edwards, got the dub, but we'll come back to him. Where do you want to start first, man? You want to talk about how my dog got beat up in a unanimous decision to start off the card?
Oh, Juliana Miller. And
yeah,
Hardy didn't fight for like 3 years. So like, it's crazy that like her first fight back, she just took out the Ultimate Fighter winner this year.
Nah, the shit was bad because she posted a video on Twitter, and this is after I just spoke so highly of her because I kept sleeping on her during the Ultimate Fighter, and she posted a video. I'm like, what the niggas is clowning her in the group chat, and I'm just like, that's low key my pick. I low key said she was gonna be a problem. This is why I don't say things.
I gotta start picking against the opening favorite just because I feel like they don't know who's the real favorite in those opening fights for real.
That shit is fine. I mean, there were some great fights. Oh my gosh, Jake Hadley knocking out Malcolm Gordon after Malcolm Gordon missed weight.
But how he missed by how many pounds?
Like he missed by like 4. I feel like it wasn't.
And he still got KO. That's crazy.
In the first round. Yes.
And Liverpool, I think Liverpool boy. I think Kristen Duncan's a Liverpool guy.
Now, Jake Hadley's the one that knocked out Malcolm Gordon.
I mean, Jake Hadley. I think
Chris Duncan knocked out Toto. Yeah, Toto. I mean, it wasn't. It was just a bang, like just a bang. No takedowns. 14 significant strikes. 14 total strikes by Chris Duncan, 9 significant strikes.
I want to talk about Muhammad Mokaev not tapping.
That shit was crazy. So like, it's funny. Tell me how you see that, because that shit low key made me throw up almost.
Man, I just even when I see the still picture on the screenshot people posting, his knee is here, his thigh is here, but the rest of his leg is literally it's just insane. I saw that he's flexible. They showed pictures of him doing splits and stuff, but I don't think flexibility is gonna. his knee was literally backward, or the swollen image. But
That shit is insane.
that's not his bone should have snapped out. Like that's absolutely. I've seen like I give it to Muhammad, but maybe he's truly built different because he said he'd rather die than be a quitter.
Bruh, the fact that his knee is the size of his fucking head right now is insane. Like that boy's gonna be done for a little bit. And if he comes back, I promise you, if he comes back before October or November, I would genuinely shit my pants because that motherfucker is built different.
He's
And the
one
fact
of the
that
more hated prospects too. I don't know why the group chat be shitting on him like he ain't the real deal, bro. He's 22. Like he could
that
be
shit
in the
is crazy.
prelims for the next 2 years, honing skills and really be a problem.
And he don't give a fuck. The fact that Mikhaev doesn't give a fuck. And it's crazy the way he did it. So he didn't tap to that shit. Nigga let's go. And then he gets the motherfucking, he gets the rear naked choke and cranks his motherfucking neck until that motherfucker taps. It's insane. And he did this all on one leg. He's literally limping. I'm trying to go get the motherfucking choke. He's limping after he gets the tap. Like, what? Motherfuckers are built different. He's if he went out there saying like, yo, I want to be known, I want to be respected, and I really want to have a motherfucker. I remember him now because that motherfucker was supposed to tap to that knee, to that what's that shit called? Not the knee hook, not heel hook, whatever that shit was called.
And he's at flyweight. Like Moreno's my guy. He's gonna hold it down. You got Kai Car France who got liver kicked to oblivion by Moreno. Figgie's leaving the division. Brandon Royval, I mean, he's on the fucking prelims of. He's like fourth, fifth ranked, and he's on the fucking prelims of UFC Kansas City that just got announced. And then you have like, I just think Mikhaev could be the new face of flyweight. Like, come, especially how young he is. If he comes, he could have a good Demetrius Johnson type run if he gets the belt young, because there's like that weight class is not that stacked for him to be able. If he takes over soon, he might be able to hold it down for a long time.
I mean, Brandon Moreno's a problem, but like eventually he is gonna get old. Motherfucking. But how do you feel about the shit itself? Because that was a crazy submission. Do you think he should have tapped? Because what if he's out for the next? What if you get to see a tweet that he's out for the next year and a half? Yeah, that's what they were saying on the live stream. It was like he should have tapped. That was stupid.
Hey, sometimes you just in the heat of the moment, in the battle, the adrenaline. He probably didn't know how bad he probably felt the lock. Don't get me wrong, he felt that shit, but he didn't know his leg was a fucking literally bent sideways at that moment. He was just like, damn, he locked me in good. How can I beat him before I go out? Type shit. Like that's how I look at it. And he like, hey, some people like maybe longevity wise shouldn't have did it, but in the heat of the moment, you don't have the big picture in front of you. You have someone in the cage trying to beat you.
And that boy said, "Fuck that." And then he has a promising future. I hope he continues to grow, continues to get better, and keep that motherfucking "I'll never give up" attitude, because that's how you win championships, man. But on to the next fight. What fight we talking next?
There's a couple. There's a knockout by Osmos, and then there's the split decision fight, and then the Jack Shore sub to round out the prelims.
Bruh, he knocked him the fuck out. I remember this one right here. It was crazy because there was
Patterson's a hometown dog too. Like he was.
Hell yeah. And his nickname was crazy. I can't remember what his nickname was. This shit was funny as fuck. Didn't matter. Bruh got manhandled. And like it only took my dog. I now landed 15. I had total 15 strikes. Landed 15 strikes.
The future.
And that KO was vicious. Like that shit was insane. Let me see if I can pull it up.
His nickname on UFC is the future.
Wow.
Oh. I feel like that's one of the more corniest nicknames because I've not corny, but it's just like you don't. Everyone there's like a handful of people with that nickname. It's just recycled. That's the word.
And I want to say it was his debut. You know, his debut.
Put on the show for a minute.
Vicious KO. Terrible. Oh my gosh. But that's the prelim. I'm gonna let you talk your dog.
My boy
let you talk our guy.
My boy Jack.
Let you talk our guy.
That boy Jack Shore put in the work, and how you say it, Amir Khani he's known for his BJJ. He's known for his grappling. He's known for the groundwork. So for it to be, that was one area that I was kind of worried for him, just because of his last performance, we saw Ricky Simone fucking manhandling him on the ground, and I was just like, I had hopes that because Jack Shore is not a bum on the ground. Ricky Simone was just in his bag. Like Ricky Simone's a problem. So Jack Shore, I was like, we'll see, we'll see. So for him to get the rear naked choke, like it felt good. I was like, all right. I feel like even helped him get over that mental barrier that he may have had. The speech he gave afterwards started tearing up. Everything. I was like, damn. Like I don't know. I really be riding for this guy. Like he really be like some movie type shit for me.
What he said.
He was just like thanking Family God and like this has been a long time coming, like shout out my people of Wales type shit, like he just got, that was the one part where I was just like, okay, I felt like no other fighter in their home territory was giving out some real deal speeches like that. And this was that's what made the first UFC London so great, was the after the fight, Sarah, like Molly jumping over the cage, Patty screaming on the mic, all that, like like, so it needed a little bit more of that. But
Nah,
that rounded out the prelim.
I'm trying to see if I can find this card for the next fight, but introduce the next fight first, homie.
We got Marvin Vettori getting an unanimous decision over Delazzi. I thought he won. I thought he did enough to win, but I agree with Kev's tweet earlier on the day. The 30-27 was kind of a crazy take on the fight. One of the judges.
I'm trying to find the judges' scorecards right now.
For that fight?
But that fight was so interesting.
It was 29-28, 29-28, 30-27.
That shit is crazy. Oh, hold on. I found the official scorecards. Oh, it's a wrap. So I want to know who the fuck scored that bitch 30-27. Paul Sutherland.
Oh, I heard his name before a couple of times on the Twitter block.
Yeah, he's drunk as fuck. So he scored a 30. He gave Marvin Vettori all 3 rounds. Marvin, and then everybody else just gave Roman 2 nines, a 9 in the second and third, which I agree. I think in the first round, Roman definitely did what he did. I don't think Vettori, and it was crazy because Vettori could not strike with him in the first round, but he kept striking. I don't think Vettori went for any takedowns. He might have went for
figuring it out too.
And it was the leg kicks. Like that second round, he threw a lot of leg kicks. He stayed competitive. Roman, he might have a nose problem, but it looked like he was breathing out his mouth after like the first 10, 15, 20 seconds into the fight. Might have a nose problem or something. But Vettori figured it out. He started scoring a lot of points with those legs kicks. And then in the third round, in the beginning, I would have gave it to Roman, but those last 2 minutes, Vettori just took over. And then he just seemed like the difference between his fight against Rob versus this fight. When he fought Whitaker, he got really frustrated. Yeah, he was getting manhandled definitely, but he was getting frustrated. And it was funny because like we was talking shit about I was talking shit about Vettori because I'm like, yo, Vittori's big as fuck, right? He looks like he's probably like the second biggest in his division behind Alex. This motherfucker, I feel like I never see him throw any punches that rock anybody or daze anybody. Like he might just be a big bitch, like low key. Like he might be like, you know how when Tyson when Deontay Wilder was calling Tyson Fury pillow hands. I think that's what it is. Like that's what I was thinking at first. I was like, yo, he might just be a big bitch. Like he might be big for no reason type shit. But he showed in this fight. He went for no takedown and still got the split decision. 30-27, great. 30, unanimous decision. But 30-27 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, MMA and Paul Sutherland, I know I've heard his name a few times. Vettori, someone was making a good case, like if fucking everyone was to bail out and it was Vettori versus Alex Pereira, Vettori has a good shot of winning that fight because of the wrestling, just because of pure wrestling. Like, and someone was like, but that's the same thing. Where is that fight ever really gonna be made? Not unless Vettori can beat Whitaker, because like Whitaker is automatically like next in line. Because there's that next, like Whitaker shows that there's a level between him and the next guy every time he fights outside of Izzy.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that's how that shit goes. But on to the next one.
You gotta talk to Fraud Check. Casey O'Neill, she got Fraud Check 9-1 now. Jennifer Maia is old as shit, and she was out there outboxing Casey O'Neill. that's what Casey O'Neal's been kickboxing since she was a jit. Like this is one of her bread and butters, and like she did not have her unanimous decision. Like Jennifer Maia left no question unturned on who won that fight.
Definitely, it was definitely Jennifer Maia did that. But I don't think you know how like in basketball they'd be like, I don't think it's so much that we lost, but the other team won, and it's not so much that the other team won, we beat ourselves. Like you know, they be saying that in basketball and football and shit.
Yeah,
It's very similar to this fight. So Jennifer Maia definitely won, but fraud check for motherfuckers be out here running around screaming that she got fraud checked is kind of crazy. Cause like what? But I will say this: Jennifer Maia came in and she pushed the pace. Like the fact that Casey O'Neill is that young and Jennifer Maia came in and pushed the pace on her the way she did. I love Jennifer Maia's pacing, and it's not like these are bad rounds that she was losing. It's just Jennifer Maia really just pulled up with the experience. I feel like in this fight, Jennifer Maia stayed consistent. She watched films, she know what combos would work. She never did anything too crazy out the game plan, and she pushed the pace and she kept everything going, and the cardio was there. I think by the 10th round, me personally, I believe not 10th, the third round, I believe that Casey O'Neill won that round. She got a 10 on two of the judges' scorecards. She won that round, except for Vito. Vito 30-27, but I'm not going to trip about this one. I tripped about the last one. So it's not that Casey O'Neill lost. It's just like she lost, but I feel like Jennifer Maia just really showed like she jumped from the fountain of youth because I feel like she didn't look that good in her last fight. And I don't think I don't think she'll look that good in her next fight. Like this is a camp. She looked like she's been working overtime. She probably like Gabriel made a point that she looks like she may have gotten a new striking coach or something because she just came up ready. So I respect Jennifer Maia for doing what he done. Anybody who said Casey O'Neill got fried checked on Twitter can see me because y'all are tripping. Like Casey O'Neill gonna come back. She's only gonna get better. She's young as fuck, and that's her first loss. Congratulations, niggas gotta lose. She just waited till she got to the UFC to lose. A lot of motherfuckers do it before they get there.
and damn, and I know she had some people in the stands for her. I know she's in New Zealand, but she be training out there in the UK area.
She cool people. I fucked with her. I think that she's still a good. I think she's a great fighter, and I think she's not Aaron Blanchfield, but for her to be as young as she is, she's gonna make some noise in her division. Unless she pulls like unless she goes the Lauren Murphy route.
And then let's jump into a quick fight. It was a first round submission. Gunnar Nelson, that was the one I told you there was going to be a difference in like Gunnar can take people down, and there's a world level BJJ once he gets you there. And he did some fancy shit with the armbar. That shit was hella clean. He the way he hooked that one in.
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy. So first off, fuck Brian Barberetta. I don't know why I believed in you. I really thought you was I got him mixed up with somebody else because I was looking at his fight. No, I got him mixed up with Fiziev because I was like, oh yeah, that's the dude that fought RDA. I remember he beat RDA. No. But he wasn't Morcano either. But Gunnar Nelson is like, this is actually crazy. So shout out that boy Knuckles. So Knuckles called when Romeo Matt came into the live stream on Saturday. Knuckles was like, Romeo was like, what y'all gambling on? Knuckles said, yo, my lock is Gunnar Nelson by submission, first round. Book it, big money. But Knuckles lives in Missouri, so you can't gamble. Like so he was like, so he was talking about like, man, but at this point, and this is before the fight even got to that. He's like, man, at this point, bro, I think I'm about to motherfucking change my VPN to Illinois or something, and so that way I could just start saying I'm from there and then go and collect my cash. I'll even get a bank out there, Illinois, if I got to, and then just go pick up my cash out there. And I was like, I don't think you should have said that like on a streaming thing, but hey, that's a good idea. But he be hitting sometimes, and like he called this fight. So the fact that Gunny is what we call him now. We're not even gonna get into the Archers versus Guns discussion that started because of Gunnar Nelson's name. But Gunny taught us, man, we gotta trust the gun in the words of comedian Romeo Mack, because not only did he get the submission, but he could have hit him like 9 different ways. Like the armbar was just the most beautiful and effective one coming right there. The way he switched, he was maneuvering. He was literally getting them right, isolating the arms, doing whatever he needed to do. And I'm just like, I know nothing about BJJ, but comedian Romeo Mack, on the other hand, is currently working on BJJ, getting his belts up, getting his belt up and shit like that. So he was calling out. He's like, yo, he's about to do this. No, he could do this. Oh shit, he has a Kimura. Oh shit, wait a minute. Is that an armbar he's about to set up? Oh shit, he got on. That shit was crazy. He probably had like 9 different submission options. And he just chose the armbar. I'm going to stay tuned on Gunnar Nelson because this is a fight I picked Brian Barberena thinking, Gunny, don't know him. Kind of old. Stands like Connor. But they're saying like he low-key might be the best person to come out that SBJ gym in Ireland.
But Gents BJJ is world class. Like he showcased it here. His last fight against Sato, he literally just took the back all 3 rounds and just was effortless too every time. So like he can really set up with anybody, and if he can get them to the ground, he can make anyone lose. But I also put him in the same category as Paul Craig, where like he's very one dimensional with that. He has a karate style stance when he fights, so he's not the best striker. And then all of a sudden, but if he can get you to the ground with his BJJ, he's a different athlete.
He looks like just a gentleman's brawler. Like maybe it's because he's from Ireland and that's probably like his style is probably normal out there. But to me, he looks like some motherfucker I seen on TV. He looks like the motherfucker that you will pull your pants all the way up here. And he said, "Oh, you want to go? You want to go? You want to tussle? You want to tussle?" Like he looks like one of them boys.
Yeah, he's from like one of those little areas too.
That shit was funny. But hey, he's cool. I fuck with Gunnar Nelson. I'm a fan. I'm only gonna be watching his highlights because I bet you like he's gonna be one of my favorite submission artists and by the end of the year.
Then we had what people were already saying was fight of the year category before it started. Did it live up to the hype, Kev? Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Did it live up? Is it definitely a candidate for fight of the year?
Oh man, I was with 5th graders earlier today at my program at school. So like when you go to when you go to a group of little kids, you like, hey, how's everybody doing? And they tell them, come on, man, let's do it some more. Paul, we gotta get Justin the highlight Gaethje pulled up to London, fought that boy Rafael Fiziev, and it was a banger. Like it was a banger. I think what our problem is when it comes to Justin Gaethje fights is that he's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. So you're thinking that he's gonna come in this bitch and just do a bunch of crazy shit. You feel me? Like, and then so throughout the process, we're hyping him up. Yo, this is gonna be crazy because you gotta remember his fights against Dustin Poirier, but you got 48. But you gotta remember, motherfucking his fight against Tony Ferguson. I think that's the Justin Gaethje we saw against Rafael Fiziev. Motherfuckers were shook. Bro was using his jab, making shit all uncomfortable for Rafael Fizzy. Motherfucking man, he was doing everything he could. And he kept saying in promo, he's like, yo, we just gonna beat the shit out of each other. And that's what he did. It was a stand and bang fight pretty much most of the time, which was crazy because this man, Justin Gaethje, went for a shot and took it. I think he went for 2 shots and he took him down the second time to end the fight. And I was like, this motherfucker is what you call a performer. Like, this motherfucker is a definition of a superstar performer, like class act. He's gonna put on a great show every time. You might not cop his album for real, but when you find out he's in your city, you pulling up to the concert because you know it's gonna be crazy and there's gonna be bitches. Justin Gaethje, I understand the hype now because this was a stand and bang fight. They were going back and forth. He was doing his thing, hitting them. But he did his thing. And then even in the I'm trying to see who scored this bitch a 10-8 because somebody scored. Oh, what's it called? Paul. Paul Sutherland. He gave that boy Justin Gaethje a 3rd round 10-8. Like that's the banging that he was doing. I think it was because of the takedown. Once he saw that takedown, he said, "Oh, immediately aiding him."
Destroyed him.
But yeah, I understand the hype behind Justin Gaethje now. I'm a fan. I'm gonna enjoy every fight I get to see from now on because there's not gonna be many more. And then I'm gonna watch the Dustin Poirier fight, and I'm only gonna be praying that that's the next one. That has to be the next one.
We're hoping for it. And I will say, like, this kind of remind me of whenever, like, in basketball, there might be a team that's more skilled, but then they go up against a team that's more rugged in the trenches with it. Like they throw the elbows. They're setting the picks a little extra hard. Like you might have all that little finesse with you. You might have all the skill and finesse, but when shit gets a little dirty, how are you gonna react? And I feel like that's what Gaethje took him into the dirty sewer. Gonna see like how is Fiziev, who's like I would say almost like a I want to say pretty boy, but he's a flashy fighter. Everything is finesse. So it was a different kind of look for how is he gonna react when somebody's bringing the pressure to him and making it dirty, like making it real grimy and
I respect it, and I think this fight was crazy because even if you look at the scorecards, they're crazy. So the first scorecard, you got Fizzy running round one and Justin Gaethje winning the last two, and that's from Mark Collette. The second scorecard, you got your homie Paul. He gave Fizzy both the first and second round, but then he gave Justin Gaethje a 10-8 in the third. So that was a tie. That was a tie scorecard. In the next one, they gave Justin Gaethje the first round, but they gave Fizzy the second round and gave Justin Gaethje the last round. So like I really felt, me personally, I think it could have been 29-28 either way. That 10-8 third round. I'm not gonna give you an extra. I'm not gonna give you the 8 just because you got taken down in the last second. You're probably tired. You wasn't expecting it. I'm not tripping. But I saw 29-28 Justin Gaethje this fight. And Justin Gaethje showed like he's the fucking highlight for a reason.
yeah. And I mean, it was a perfect fight to lead into the main event, which honestly it could have went either way. I mean, it was 50-50 on the picks. I felt like at least on our show, it was 50-50. And
There's only one.
Leon did it in front of the hometown. The
There's
one of the
only
most legends. Like
one.
that shit was so raw when he did the headshot when Kamara pulled up.
This fight was the rawest changing of guards possible. So the storyline is there. They fought in Orlando, 2015. Kamaru Usman wrestled the fuck out of bro. Straight up. Every time I look at this fight, I'm like, yo, Leon Edwards was truly him back then too. But he just got his ass wrestled. Only looked better. Even when he was looking at Kamaru after he won, he was like, bro, this man's not better than me. Like, I really feel like he left that arena saying, yo, this man's not better than me. I don't want him to see him again. And now you got to watch Kamaru Usman rise and rise and rise. Get the welterweight championship. Become pound for pound number one. Be one of the three kings. Get in his spot in Black Panther. Pulling up to the ESPYs with going out to events with Kevin Hart and all this shit. Doing big dog shit. He got his motherfucking stylist, and you over here getting the worst because you got that loss now. Motherfucking, you got it. Nobody wants to fight you because they know you got some of the best hands in UFC. Motherfucking, and you're getting hold. Fights getting canceled. People coming out. What's it called? Well, he had the fight against Tyron Woodley in the O2, canceled because of COVID. Motherfucking his fight against Hazmat, canceled because he almost died. Motherfucking his fight against Bilal, no contest. Like, Leon has gone through it. Even with his fight against Nate Diaz, everybody was talking shit because Nate Diaz rocked him in the end. So like, motherfucking Leon had to go through it while Kamaru Usman was just living the life. He was grinding, working hard. Leon comes back, kicks the fuck out of homie, takes his belt. And now you bring the energy that they had with this promo, talking shit back. Leon becomes, I don't even consider Leon English no more. I think I'm only looking at Leon as Jamaican. He's the Jamaican man that lives in England. Because that's his Jamaican side came out in this motherfucking card, bro. I mean, talking shit at the interview. Like, I'm gonna post a clip on Totally Blitz tonight, probably tomorrow. But we should have known this motherfucking Leon Edwards was a problem when they was at the interview and they said that Kamaru was gonna show him who he was, like who he is. Kamaru Usman was beating the fuck out of him for 3.5 rounds, almost 3 and 7/8 of a round, and then motherfucking he gets kicked, headshot, dead, and where Kamaru Usman's like, yo, I'm gonna show him what's up. I'm gonna show him who he is. Some interviewer asked Leon, how did he feel about Kamaru Usman saying that? This motherfucker laughed. He said, and I was like, where did I see that before? Where have I seen that before? So I'm going through my meme bar. I'm like, who's done that? And then I look at the video of LeBron right before they came back from 3-1 in the finals because Klay Thompson was talking shit. He goes, same laugh. I was like, oh, we should have known homie was the issue. But the promo was great. I don't know why Kamaru Usman came up to him in the first place, but he said, "Yo, I got you." Even at the weigh-ins, this man coming in Kamaru Usman's face, "Let's go, let's go." Kamaru Usman, you talking shit? He said, "You fuck boy." He didn't say. He said, "You fuck boy." Like I'm like, this man talking to Kamaru Usman like that? Kamaru, pop head this big. Kamaru Usman. Wow. But he came in ready. Like he came in and he proved it in the fight. I think the first round, you definitely got to give to Leon. He did his thing. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I got the scorecards. Everybody gave Leon the first round. And then this is when shit got crazy. So this is when this fight got interesting at certain points because they gave what's it called? So Leon won the first round, and you could have gave it either or to the second round, either or. Like one person gave Kamaru Usman the second round, two people gave Leon the second round. And then the next round, Leon gets I want to say Leon was holding the cage. Was that when Leon was holding the cage and they took the point for that? So yeah, and that cage hold was fucking terrible. Like the first, like the ref let it slide the first time, but he did that like at least 4 times. I mean, he just blatantly held the fucking cage, and the ref's like, Herb Dean's like, bro, I gotta do it. I have no choice.
You done did it 4 times, bro.
And I want to say there was another foul. He was grabbing Kamaru's glove when Kamaru was taking him down, and that was in the first round, but they didn't take a point off of that. And then it was crazy because in the I want to say it was the second round. It could have been the beginning of the third. Kamaru Usman is all the way in the middle before Herb Dean even says let's fight. Like they hit the bell, and Leon's looking like, bro, what the fuck is he doing right here? So like, there's a good 10 seconds of like, yo, get your ass back, and then Herb Dean's like, hey, yo, now you get your ass back. All right, now fight, motherfuckers. So this fight just had everything. It had everything you needed. It was upsetting. There was just so much adrenaline in the air. The masculine urge to just say, was in the air. You feel me? And that round got interesting because Leon lost that round. That was one of the rounds that Kamaru Usman was actually wrestling with him. He took him down with a beautiful single leg. I was like, where the fuck has this been all fight? But that was the only round I feel like, in my opinion, Kamaru Usman won for real. I don't think he won any other rounds. And then, who is it? Motherfucking Ben Cartlidge agrees with me. But David Letheby gave Kamaru Usman the second round. I still would have gave the second round to Leon. But everybody had the same thing. 48. Oh no. Dave Letheby scored up his 47-47. But after that third round, I don't think Kamaru Usman did anything. I don't understand. Everybody was screaming, "What's the problem? Like this isn't Kamaru Usman." It didn't really look like the Nigerian Nightmare for real. Like he wasn't getting the take. He wasn't wrestling at all. He was putting Leon on the fence, and like those were his perfect times to shoot. But he wasn't pulling the trigger. I don't know if it is the knees, if it's shots. You don't know what exactly happened. And then the worst part is, when he did shoot a lot of the times, besides for the third round, they weren't nice shots. They weren't great shots. And then, so because Leon already doesn't have to worry about the motherfucking submission, he got straight back up, or he motherfucking just hand fought. He just hand fought and got up out of there. He kind of made Kamaru Usman really look 35, and I'm a Kamaru Usman fan.
And I knew it was crazy on the takedown defense and him. I saw him getting out of it by hand fighting and then the circling and then kind of putting Usman on the cage and then retreating. And at one point, Usman was 2 for 5 on takedowns. And he ends the fight 4 for 15. Like, Leon Edwards, like you said, the third round was when Usman got it. But after that, like, Leon Edwards was not going back to the mat.
Nah, dead ass, man. And shout out, man. That boy showed the Rocky Edwards reign is here. And it's here to stay. I'm mad I didn't that fight showed that, like, yo, he is the best. He came up. This was one of the premier divisions in the motherfucking UFC, and he's the motherfucking king right now. And you wanna know why? Because there's only one Rocky Edwards. There's only one Rocky Edwards. But Paul, man, what's the future for this division, man? Dana's saying Kobe's the next fight, which I still think is crazy. That I'm not even gonna get too deep into that. But Bilal posted a text message to his trainer saying, "Hey, I might be fighting in London against Kobe." So Kobe, if that's true, that means Kobe denied. Kobe Kobe said no to the Bilal fight. Ended up still cutting weight, made weight to become the backup fighter, and then now he's gonna be in the championship. He's gonna be in the next championship fight. And Leon literally looked at him and said, "I don't know what the fuck. Why did Kobe get the next fight? What did he do? He beat Matt. He hasn't fought in over a year and a half, and it's not like he was injured. He just sat. And then motherfucking his last fight was against Jorge Masvidal.
But then who's Leon Edwards want to fight? Because I feel like Leon Edwards is probably gonna want a fight Belil because he was already winning that fight. And I think Belil has the best resume to get the fight, but Kobe, I mean, he was the only person before anybody else was the only person we thought could even stand a chance to Usman. Like everyone else was just like lunch food before Leon Edwards doesn't beat him.
I wouldn't say we. You know me. I think Kobe's a wrestling ass motherfucker. But I think if Masvidal had better cardio and didn't take this fight to as hard as he wanted to and just stopped technically and just got in great shape for it, I think he could have. I really think he could have won that fight because I think he could have stopped Kobe in that fourth round. Kobe in the fourth round, but I look at this like Leon said he wants the winner of. He says the Masvidal fight would be smooth, but like it's because there's a storyline behind it. But Masvidal is not beating Gilbert Burns, so Gilbert Burns, I think. I was thinking like Gilbert Burns is probably the best person for the still fight, and I think he is. But I don't think the next one just because you can make the argument he lost to Hazmat.
Yeah, like, Hamza also didn't make weight. It's hard to put him in a title fight when you can't.
And he's not. Oh, Hazmat's going to 185. Dana already said it. Dana's like, yo, I think what they're trying to do is put Hazmat and Rob. They just got to see. I call him Rob because of these Bobby Knuckles, motherfucking against but they got to see what happens with Izzy and Alex because if Alex motherfucking they just got to see what happens with Izzy and Alex. But I understand Kobe. I'm not tripping because Bilal, you could say that he could get a title shot, but at the end of the day, like people he did beat to get that title shot was like Sean Brady, and then I can't remember who he fought before that, but it was he beat Luque, but like we don't know what Luque is right now. So like he beats names. It's a nice resume, but at the time, it's not like he's really like he's for sure without a doubt the title shot. It was just like we wanted him because Usman hasn't beat him yet. So I'm not tripping on whoever gets the title shot. I think of him and Kobe, those promos would be fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's what Dana see. He's like, well, why not make the biggest promo possible? Because the other biggest promo is gonna be Masvidal, but no one wants to see Masvidal. Like nobody other than Dana. Like no MMA fan really wants to see Masvidal get like a fourth title shot in 2-3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's just because it's a title shot. Like I wish it was just like if Leon. I wish they just made the fight before Leon Edwards got the belt because like that would just smooth, close that out, and kept it moving. But I think it's really everybody's waiting to see what happens with Shavkat. Like I think they probably set up Kobe versus I think what they'll probably do is they'll set up Kobe versus Leon. Motherfucking, you got Gilbert Burns versus Masvidal, and then you probably got Shavkat, and then you got Shavkat versus Bilal, and I think the winner it'll probably be like Gilbert Burns versus Shavkat, and I think and then that's how they're gonna decide who gets the championship fight after the Kobe versus Leon fight. But it's just like the MMA math is motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And Islam called out motherfucking Leon too. Says he wants to see him in Abu Dhabi.
Islam knows he could beat someone like that.
See, Max said the same thing. He's like, yo, that's an easy win for Islam, or Islam knows for sure. I'm like, I don't think so. I think we're not respecting Leon Edwards because I don't think Islam can strike with Leon.
Hey, people thought that when he fought Oliveira.
Yeah, but I think that was more like, I think even those punches were like vicious, but they were vicious, they were fast, and they had great range. But like, it's not like he was spazzing with the punches. He dropped them.
You don't have to spaz with the punches. You just use that to set up the opening.
But this is the Leon though, and then you just saw his takedown defense against Kamaru Usman.
But they're also talking about Usman may retire.
No, Usman said he's fighting again.
He is? That was the rumor.
We were saying that beforehand too. Like he said he's fighting again. He's trying to make one more run to the title. I mean, who's gonna beat him?
I mean, if his knee, well, we can give Leon Edwards the props, but there's also the possibility that Usman's knees is gone. And
No, Usman knees are gone. He's been fighting on terrible knees this whole time. But like
but now
at
it's
the end,
35. That's what I'm saying. He might be past the point of being able to take people down with.
but when we see him fight Kobe, we're gonna see like, oh, he does have great takedown defense. But before everything, we're gonna see his hands are there. Like you do not want to strike with this guy for nothing. That's not a good idea. That is not a good, and because he's so patient, he's calculated, and he doesn't gas out. So like what we saw in Utah really might have been the truth. That elevation fucked bro up because he came in this bitch ready. He came in fucking huge. It really looked like the Rock at motherfucking WrestleMania 32 or something. I can't remember which one he fought on John Cena. Motherfucking this man Leon is. I'm telling you, like, please don't sleep on him no more, Paul.
Once
He's gonna
it's on
fuck up Kobe.
wrist,
And
it's over.
I think he might be able to beat Shavkat too. Low key.
No, I think we're gonna see a short reign from Leon Edwards unless he fights Masvidal or unless he fights Belil because he already knew.
Think about it. Think about it. Jeff Neal didn't look too. Jeff Neal was over there piecing up Shavkat a little bit, and Leon got hands on Leon. Who do you like better in striking, Leon or Jeff Neal? Please don't say.
I also like Shavkat BJJ.
Yeah, that's what I want to find out because we've seen that it's hard to get Leon to the mat, and it was hard to get because he didn't take down he wasn't getting Jeff Neal down like that either, and motherfucking Shavkat doesn't move his head for nothing. This man was not.
Jeff Neal, and he also submitted Neil Magny.
He submitted these motherfuckers standing up. He submitted Jeff Neal standing the fuck up. That shit was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna watch him beat the fuck out of Kobe, and then when
if
he
I like Kobe. I think
Shavkat,
Kobe even opened as the favorite on betting sites.
so did Usman.
No, I'm just saying, like he's like even the people in Vegas said odds.
We said the same thing about Usman. I'm telling you, this man Leon is exactly who we think he is, and it's a problem. And he's what I think he's only 31, right?
Yeah, I just don't trust his takedown defense is very legit because I'm the way Usman was fighting, the way he was, like you said, he wasn't able to shoot. He was just his hand fighting and just clinching. It wasn't like a real shoot chain wrestling that I think Kobe's gonna be doing nonstop with that 5-round cardio.
But you also got to remember, like, I understand wrestling very, very well, and I look at that shit. So, like, I also can see, like, when somebody's like, their shots aren't like, I'm looking at Usman like, bro, you got to take a way deeper shot if you're gonna try to take this motherfucker down. His legs are not going for that, especially like even the fact that Usman saw him on the cage and wasn't immediately trying to do what he does to motherfuckers on the cage told me like, oh, okay.
I think it's more Usman can't do what he used to do against people in the cage.
I agree with you, but I'm sure I would bet money if we want to bet cribs. We can bet cribs, motherfucking. This man when he fights Kobe, he's gonna show like, okay, I really can stop wrestling. As of right now, that's what I think. But that was a banger of a card, man. It was a good. I give it a good 7.5, 7.85, so that way you can round it up to an 8 in certain days. But I liked it. It was good. A lot of good fights. A couple stops. It was crazy competitive. I feel like there weren't too many stops, especially not in the main card. Yeah, I don't think there was any stops, and there was one stop in the main card. Yeah, there was only one stop, and like the judges had to work a lot this card. That's how I felt like. But Paul, you got anything else to say to them peoples, man?
No, we're gonna hopefully the next UFC London the crowd gets more into it.
No, it's fun. The funniest thing I think was probably the fact that Tom Holland was there, and I don't remember seeing him on the broadcast. Like you had to look into Leon Edwards' corner, and it was like, oh, and then Romeo Mack was like, hey, oh shit, Tom Holland's there. And then I was like, really? And then after the fight, you see Tom Holland backstage dapping up Leon Edwards. You're like, oh, this nigga really was there. Why is he not on the card 5 times? They over here showing like KSI, the people from motherfucking, just like a bunch of random, and it's the UK, you feel me? We don't know their stars like that. Maybe these people like are gods where they come from. But like we just looking like, who the fuck is this? If you don't get this motherfucker off. And like there's some people we feel like there's no way they watch him. They definitely got paid. They definitely got the cards, the tickets for free, and it would help their brand by showing up.
Nah, but I ain't got nothing else really to say. It was a good card. I give it a 7.
Hey, man. But if that's it, man, this has been the Totally Blitz podcast, man. My name is Kev Waterbush, your boy. I'll be at the next UFC London card with my dog Thomas at Thomas at Casual. And I'm in this bitch with Paul Pick'em with him Contra. Pray for my dog. My dog don't feel good. My dog is feeling the blues. But he still came out late night. It's 11:51. He still came to make sure y'all got this motherfucking episode. So shout out my boy, and we gonna catch y'all on the next one. You dirty bitches.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new, and see some accent, all I say is true. You better stop your capping, lacking really your ass all in the passing.